Welcome to the Unofficial Sex Therapist,
where we dive deep into the world of intimate relationships and explore topics related to sex, sexuality, communication, and personal growth. Join us as we navigate through the complexities of human intimacy and provide insights, real experiences, advice, and expert interviews.
Whether you're seeking guidance or simply curious about the fascinating realm of sex, our podcast offers a safe and non-judgmental space for exploration and education.
Tune in and let's embark on a journey towards a healthier, fun, and more fulfilling sexual life.
What up, everybody? Thank you for joining us tonight on another episode of Unofficial Sex Therapist. I'm your host, Tiffany Campbell, and tonight we're going to be unpacking the whole mystery of fantasies within men and women. We're going to talk about the most common and top fantasies of men and women. So I'm sure if you guys have any, you may recognize a few of them. Tonight I have some special guests with me. Tonight we got a repeated guest. We have Miss Selena, the Miss Sensational Selena. Everybody remember her from about what, 2 or 3 episodes you in now? Is this your third?
This is my third.
Your third? Listen, she had the short hair before, so now she got the long hair. So I gotta, get acclimated to the hair this time. She looking gorgeous tonight.
Thank you.
And she brought the girls with her too. And then also we have Chef Jay, better known as H-Town Chef. How you doing this evening?
And I'm blessed. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. And last but not least, we have Mr. Hollywood. Mr. Hollywood.
Hello. How y'all doing? H-Town, thank you for having me on the show, and looking forward to diving into it.
All right. Chef Jay, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Because you are pretty popular here in Houston.
I wouldn't say that. I think if anything, I just cook good food most times, man. But Chef Jay, been here for about 24 years. I'm probably one of the best chefs walking in this city right now. And I say that humbly, definitely say that humbly. I just love food and I love sex. So I'm here to talk about a little bit of both.
Right. So you've actually, you're also a private chef too, right?
Yes, solely a private chef. About to open up a restaurant. That's something I haven't been telling many people, but yeah, we're working on a Caribbean concept that is more upscale than not. So definitely swanky, something where you're going to have to look like something. And, it's always going to be valet and all that good stuff. So, yeah, definitely a private chef, but transferring into a restaurateur and doing some other things throughout the city.
Awesome. When we get at the end of the show, we'll let him give you information on where to follow him and get in contact with him.
Indeed.
And then what about you, Mr. Hollywood? What we got going on?
I'm originally from Beaumont. By way of Katy now, came to school in 92. Just had a couple adventures out now. Own some trucks, do a little investment in real estate, a couple things. Got a nice Harley, got the few little toys, But other than that, I'm
and you like sex. That's why you're
here. Of course, that's why I'm here. That conversation always lead into that, but I'm here to expound on that a little bit.
Yeah, so we all understand and we know that both men and women have sexual fantasies and desires. The whole point of having a show tonight is to kind of like talk about the top ones, and you can either agree that they're either yours or not, but I've done my research, and then I'm sure these guys either they have their own that they can chime into, and I have my own personal ones that we can also talk about. But the whole goal is to try to understand that that fantasies do exist, and there's nothing to be ashamed of. One of the reasons why people don't like to talk about their fantasies and desires, especially with their mate, is either because of fear of either judgment or either fear, of being rejected, or feeling some type of way about that person once they let you know that. So one of the things we want to be able to do is to kind of unpack and talk about each of the sexual fantasies in detail. And why a person would actually have those type of fantasies, and then talk about from a relation standpoint the impact of not being able to either communicate those, and then how we can better move forward within relationships and being able to be open about it. So I'll start off by asking the question, why do you think that people actually have sexual fantasies?
I think it's because it's like something that you want to do on your bucket list. Like you said, some people are afraid to share. Can I tell you about one of mine?
Yeah.
Okay. I have a fantasy where someday it's on my bucket list. I may not ever get to do it, but sometimes I just want to be like on the passenger seat, holding on to the window, and with one leg on the rear view mirror, and then the other leg on the armrest, and just getting some head, just holding on. Like
Okay.
that's one of my fantasies.
You may have to repeat that because I'm trying to like
was
he
lost.
over there.
I was trying to visualize it, but I was a little lost.
I'm trying to get a visual of.
I started
Okay,
sweating
so-
when she started talking about it.
No,
too,
it's like if you in the car on the passenger seat with the window down, not in the passenger seat, but outside the car, and then you just take like the right leg, and then you put it over the rear view mirror, the mirror,
the side view or the rear
the
view?
side view.
Because the rear view up here.
No, not that one.
Oh, okay. So
The side view.
Okay, I was.
And then you take the other leg, put it inside the car, and put it behind the headrest, wide eagle, and just hold on and just get some head.
Oh, get.
Well, you almost.
Get.
I thought you said
That's
get.
what we were.
No,
So
like
I was a little
I'm
conflicted.
on the car holding on like this. And then this one leg go over there, and I'm going over there, and I'm just getting some head. Like,
Okay.
The car's not moving.
no, it's not moving. We in the passenger seat.
I'm just
Use your
asking.
imagination.
I'm
It's a
just asking.
fantasy.
We trying to for clarity. That's all we want.
Yeah, but just like you said, some people are afraid to share, and sometimes they don't come true. But it's a fantasy.
So have you shared that fantasy with anybody? Have you told a guy, somebody you were seeing?
No, this is a debut of that fantasy.
Good. You get hot stuff. You get it fresh off the press, right?
Absolutely.
Fresh off the press.
Yeah, but I don't mind sharing.
So another reason why people have sexual fantasies is to escape. It's a form of escapism, or to satisfy some sort of psychological need, or something. It's just a way to just kind of be able to, I don't know about you, but I know I still, well, I don't want to call them wet dreams, but I still have dreams at night. Sexual dreams, and sometimes they're like dreams that of like of fantasies that I've either like fulfilled or maybe a fantasy that I may have thought about, and and it happens in my dreams. So I don't know if that actually has happened to anybody else. You never experienced a fantasy in your dream?
A repeat of fantasy, yes. The one that's already happened, you just want it to happen again.
Yeah, or maybe with a different person.
She said no comment.
Is that a no comment?
That's not no comment. Well, if it's a fantasy, yeah, come on. Yeah, it's a fantasy. Maybe with a different person.
So what about you, Mr. Hollywood?
What's the question? Give me the question. Rephrase it again.
So we're talking about why do individuals have sexual fantasies, but she already shared one. Do you have one you want to share?
I think people have fantasies. I think me personally, I think it's experience. I don't think it's more for a lifestyle or something that you do over and over. I think it's more of a one-time thing. And what I think people get caught up in is that they hide. We all have three faces. We have the world face, we have the family face, and then we have that real person that you really are. That's where the fantasies lie. People don't divulge those fantasies simply because they don't want, like you said, to be judged by them. That personal, she's pretty good. She came right out. She knew it out the rope. So mine is more of and it's probably normal. Most guys have had it, but for me, I come up in a traditional setting where Christian background. So when you talk about things like that, multiple women at one time, then it gets frowned upon, like we said. Yeah. But that would, like, it's traditional. It's something that most guys would want. And I think just having multiple women the way I want them at any given time would be my biggest fantasy.
What would you do with them?
It'll be X-rated. We'd have to get the cameras out and make sure that we got long footage.
So what would you do with them?
Yes, I'd
So you'd be dressed up and
we do we jumping off beds, we grabbing on chandeliers, we rocking, we getting this thing
chicken
from the top
suits
to the bottom.
So let's talk about some of the common fantasies since he's already dived into one of them. So one of the most common fantasies, and I think is probably more so for men but it also for women too. But I think it's more common in men, and that's the threesome, right?
Yeah.
So I think a lot of men have fantasized about being with more than one woman, maybe an extra man. I don't know, 2 men and 1 woman. I think that a man is like fantasize about having
I
another
can't
man in
think
the
like
room.
another
I
man.
can't.
So
Huh?
I can't think like another
And
brother.
I
So
definitely can't think
Well,
like
I
another
mean,
woman.
I've seen it happen, so I know
I mean, no
that it
offense,
exists.
nothing to go against anybody else and their fantasies and their, but in my head, it's,
I second that motion. I just
the funniest thing is like I've never been in that situation,
Which one?
like where it's 2 guys and a girl.
Really?
That's always been weird to
You
me.
hardly ever hear about it. Also,
Oh,
oh well,
Yeah.
I'm
it's
lost.
happening.
I've never heard of anybody that actually had 2 men and 1 woman.
Okay.
2 men and a woman. That's a train, huh?
That's what
No,
I call
okay.
it.
See, no, it's
That's what I
not.
call it.
That's
No,
a
it's
train.
not. No, it's
Where
not.
I come from, that okay.
No,
I'm
okay,
listening.
Beaumont.
I'm listening.
Now in 2024, it's a bit more socially acceptable for a woman to have 2 guys at once,
Maybe
because you
three,
even
like,
see
she
it on
got
like
three.
the social media posts where you see the woman with her boyfriend and her husband, and it's highly touted. There's everybody like, oh yes, go girl. But my thing is like it's just more, it's common. But in my day and age growing up, that was a train.
Mhm.
It was a
But that's what we call polygamy these days, right?
well, it might not
That's
be a
trans
train in
being
polygamy,
transmitted.
but if we meet Jasmine at the club and Jasmine wants to go home with me and Marcus, and me and Marcus give Jasmine a good night and make sure she's safe and make it home safely, and she enjoyed it and it was consensual.
Yes.
That was a train. But Jasmine can also say, on both sides, she can say, nah, I had both of them do what I wanted them to do. And she would be right. It's just in the perception of that one person. So,
Because I look at a train as
like a group.
one and then somebody coming behind. But when you're talking about it from like a threesome, we're all intertwined at the same time.
I do agree.
He could be in the front and the other one could be in the back.
It's all in motion, but when it's like one guy in, one guy out, that's more of what you call a train.
Yeah.
I got you.
Most times
That's a
those
good
are
break.
not.
That's a good breakdown.
I got you.
Yeah. Emotionally connected and y'all doing it together, then it becomes something else.
So
yeah, because it is more intimate than as opposed to it being a train, because now it's just you just in there for everybody's pleasure, as opposed to it's the three of y'all.
Yeah.
Even if the guys aren't interacting, it's still a form of intimacy. So
yeah, absolutely.
Just not for everybody, I guess.
Yeah, I agree.
Good.
So some of the reasons why people actually think about wanting to have threesomes. One is because of variety. I know when you're with someone and you've been with someone, that same person all the time, sometimes you may get in, hey, I wonder what would it be like to have another person. I have more than one person. So that's definitely an idea of fantasy that people have had. A lot of people won't talk about threesomes simply because of the fact that it for some people, especially females that are kind of, I guess, somewhat against it, it 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 gives a level of insecurity, or not necessarily insecurity, but it makes them feel like, okay, well, if I give my man a threesome, then what if the woman outperforms me, or if he enjoys her more? Yeah.
And you open the Pandora's box.
Yeah, and I sometimes just feel like I don't know, like you say, it's a fantasy, but a lot of times that don't work.
What don't work?
If you get bored and you want to invite someone else to the party, it's people that you love. I don't think you should. I feel like that you shouldn't do that.
But it happens all the time. I mean, it happens quite frequently. I don't say all the time. It happens frequently.
I think, me personally, I think that in order to have that happen, or a fantasy given by a partner or vice versa, there has to be a healthy. See, relationships got 3 stages: that beginning stage, that middle, and you got that real healthy stage. And in that healthy stage,
which is built on trust.
That's right.
Communication.
And yes.
Transparency. Right.
And each individual's getting exactly what they want, and it just steps on. And even at that stage, you can accept a blow. If something go wrong, something happen, infidelity on the other side, when a relationship is at its healthy stage, then you can withstand that. But if you already over here,
you're still in the learning stage, or you still don't know everything about your partner.
That's right.
There's not a lot of trust in it either. So
right.
You know, there's a conversation that has to be had, and that's, like you said, transparency in that last stage. It's open to a lot of different things that in the beginning it's kind of like, you know.
And I think that's where I think threesomes can kind of go wrong in a lot of relationships too, is because they try to introduce that too soon in the relationship versus
I agree.
giving their relationship some time to mature and to where they've actually gone through things and have some work, you know, where they've survived.
You got some skin in the game.
Yeah, I got some skin in the game versus, you know, okay, we're going to start doing this because it's fun. You like women, I like women.
But I also think it's more, I think it's a balance that you have to find, because I would rather get into that early on and that just be our fun. And then we surpass that, because I want it to be a place where I only want her. And I don't want to have to like dibble and dabble, because there's going to come a day where I'm unhappy and I still want this, and I'm doing this because I want this. She's just included in it. And I don't want to be in that little gray area, because now that causes problems in the third stage, like you mentioned. And I don't want that. So let's play up front. If that's what you like, or that's what we're going to do, let's play up front. And then we grow past that and just like kind of kick back and laugh at the days that we did that, and maybe even fantasize about it, and maybe dibble and dabble in it.
So you saying do it before the relationship gets too serious?
Yeah, because then it might be a thing, and I don't want that to necessarily be a thing, because when I do get married, I want to just want my wife. I don't want her and other women.
Usually like in the lifestyle realm, oftentimes it's not necessarily both coming into, it's usually one that has already had the experience and is bringing the other person in.
Agree.
So it's kind of hard to kind of like say, okay, we both decided that we both want to try this for the first time. Usually it's one of them has experienced it.
Agree.
So that's where you kind of have the.
Now, I was sexually promiscuous as a young man, so I don't know. The young lady I had my first threesome with, I don't know if that was her first time, but then she kind of put it together. She did it. She was very crafty. She's very fucking crafty. Now when I think about it, like, and I play it over my mind every now and then, because I mean, I was a very young man when this happened, but it was just like, okay. But it also caused a rift between her and her homegirl. So again, there was no true relationship between her and I. We were just having fun. So that's why I was like, it's easy to just have some fun. But like in the realm of a relationship, I don't think that I would want to have like threesomes and stuff.
I've even heard females say this. I would be open to a lot of possibilities. This is coming from a female. If we were in that healthy stage and we kind of use it as a reward. Let's say we've been doing good 5 or 6 months. We're in a healthy stage and he needs a weekend to himself. She don't want to be a part of it. It's no tell. You don't talk about your weekend experience. You just go out and you get to have a weekend for yourself. I've heard females say that they'd even be open for that, because what they don't know, it can't hurt them. And they're in a healthy stage and it can easily bounce back. So I've heard it tapered that way.
So would the man be acceptable if the woman wanted to do that?
I mean, if he accepted, then it's going to go both ways.
It should, at least.
It should be both ways. That's value. We worked up to it, and
5 or 6 months is not a long enough time.
No, I'm talking about in your third phase. You've been dating years, and that's a way to reward someone.
For a birthday, anniversary, Father's Day. That's what you're saying.
Nah, not them days. He's supposed to be with
Father's Day. Definitely not Father's Day. You can't go.
Well, okay, New Year's.
Definitely, you gotta kiss your lady on New Year. So
see, you got stipulations. But okay.
I do. I'm very particular.
So another reason why people consider having threesomes is, which is also pretty common, is that where one of the partners enjoys or gets aroused by seeing their partner with someone else.
Yeah, I've seen that before.
So, I mean, and people have actually paid for that. They actually will pay somebody to have sex with their partner or with their wife or stuff like that.
You know anybody? Because
What you
That's kind of
rent coming up, so I'm trying to see.
he said rent coming up.
Rent coming up. So, less money of mine I gotta spend. I'm kind of,
Look, I'm sure some people in the audience probably do.
Tell them send me a DM. I'm just playing. Or am I?
We talked about that last week. Find your woman with a spade on her ankle.
There you go.
Ace of spade. So another fantasy that people have or fantasize about is the whole role playing. Whether or not it's role playing or just or the BDSM. Have you had fantasies about that role playing? Have you?
Well, I've thought about it, but I haven't really had. I've thought about the fantasy of
In a
the
dominant.
handcuffs. Yeah, just
You being a dominant or submissive?
dominant.
I had to ask.
No, I don't want to be. I'm always
submissive.
on. Yeah, I'm on.
You want to be a top?
I'm always on the strong side.
What about you, Celine?
I've always had the fantasy where I always see it on television. Like I want to try the little ball in my mouth with the strap on it.
I got one of those. You can have it. I haven't used it yet.
Oh my god! Well, yeah. So I've had a fantasy of trying that, having one of those.
I always thought that my mouth wasn't big enough to hold that ball.
It's always big enough.
Really?
You gotta put your mind to it, right?
Absolutely. It's a fantasy, but yeah, I've always wanted to try that and have a lot of fun.
Just a ball in your mouth.
Well, I want to put on one of those little black things with the big holes in it that's a little crotchless and just be submissive.
So you want to be submissive. So you want to be dominated.
Yeah, I got a pussy. I don't need another one. That'll take over. No.
What about you, Chef?
Never had a fantasy of being tied up and wanting to tie somebody up. I don't know why. Especially being tied up. I don't know if y'all remember the the Fresh Prince episode where they tied him up in the beach house. It didn't say AKAs, but they were in pink and green. He got tied up in college by
I remember that.
And after that, I'm just like, nah, you ain't about to leave me stranded. Like, nah. Ain't no safe word gonna get me out no handcuffs. Now. You know what I'm saying?
That's your only fear.
Yeah,
being tied up.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Like, I mean, my wife possibly. Like, hey, if you want to try like some.
So you never been blindfolded?
Nah,
That would be fun.
I'd have to peek every now and then, make sure I ain't getting bamboozled.
So we seeing trusses. Jay got it.
No,
trust,
straight up. Like,
that is like the most fun. I mean, and I could play both sides. Like I could be submissive under the right circumstances. But I like being able to dominate.
I could see you in a dominatrix suit, like all black, like whipping shit.
Yeah, I got all of that.
Oh shit! Call me later.
Whoa.
I got all of that. I like that, because I get really good massages. So I would.
So you whip somebody ass and then give them a massage.
No. I'm gonna relax. No,
I heard
it would actually be the reverse.
I'm gonna hurt your knee.
It would be the reverse. It would be the reverse because I want you to be nicely. I want you to be relaxed, like just. But I'm not one of the type of people that's gonna be like because I don't want to be spanked.
Yeah,
that's gonna be. Everything is gonna be more of a pleasure, not pain.
Got you. I got you.
But you just won't be able to see where the pleasure is coming from or where it's going.
I mean, I'm sure that triggers a lot of senses when you are just sitting there like this and you just feel it and have to sit there. It's a lot of trust, though. I'm just saying,
Well, you scary.
Probably so.
You talking about scare you?
It's scary.
I would love to do that. That's a new one.
Trying to tie me up?
Would you want to wear the blindfold?
For you, yeah, I probably would.
You should.
Probably.
Oh, have me growling, boy. Stop playing.
Growling.
I'll be growling like, oh, I'll be having so much fun. All that body.
Cheers.
Teeth are terrible.
Not growling though.
Not growling. It's just like
I know what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean. Oh,
like that. Like it's like it's a good growl.
Look, brother Jay, like.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what's a bad growl.
I don't know. What
DMX in your ear and shit. Why you trying to be sensual? Where my dogs at?
But you know, that may be a turn on. That might be a turn on.
Look, there's some guys that probably like aggressive women like that, and growling that nigga ear, he gonna shit, a little tingle, you know.
You could bite him a little bit, just a little nibbles.
Be sounding like
I ain't gonna lie, if you bit me on my neck a little bit and like did that like that growl, I might like that shit. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
But with the blindfold tip, that was a great idea. Oh my goodness, that was really nice. I like that.
And so instead of if they feel some type of way about using handcuffs, they do have like the satin sashes that you can tie, that way they can at least feel like they can, get out of it versus trying to use handcuffs. So
now if I'm gonna let you tie me up, tie my shit up. I don't want to get out and tie me up. Shit. Tighten that mouth. Like, I don't want to be. I want you to let me out after you put me in, but that, like you said, the trust got to be there, man. Because
I got some nice thumb cuffs. I hardly ever get to use them.
What's the purpose of? What do you?
He can't move still.
What is this thing?
Where it go up under there? Don't.
It's not thumb cuffs.
They look like handcuffs, but they're for your
tiny,
thumb.
right?
They just tiny.
So it basically gives me some type of something, but I still can't get them apart.
I don't know, but
you'd be like this. It would be like they would cuff you just like this. So you would just better move this. You better move your arms, but I mean, but you'd be thumb cuffed like that.
I'd be okay with that because then I could still flick up the blind and make sure you ain't let your big friend come in and get a little piece of me or something while the blindfold was on.
And see that would be my other issue is what's going to happen.
Who else is in this? Exactly.
No.
Even if it's Bay recorded, I'm cool.
Yeah,
it's cool. But like, who's sneaking in here? And because, like you said, this ain't Diddy house,
right? So, and the reason why people fantasize about role playing and BDSM is because it allows them to explore different identities, the power dynamics, and scenarios in a safe, consensual way. Role playing and BDSM can bring excitement and creativity to the bedroom, which is great. And then it also kind of breaks up the routine. And I think any fantasy or anything that you decide to do different, it could be just going to the sex toy store, something that's different, to bring excitement into your relationship, into the bedroom, because it can get monotonous, if you're not at least trying to, change up positions or trying, buy some new furniture, buy some sex furniture, buy something, you got to try different things to keep it fun. I know I would get bored with the same position all the time. I mean, even though I got my favorites, I still like to try new stuff.
What's your favorite?
Inquiring minds want to know.
Inquiring minds, don't.
I have more than one favorite.
What's the top? Real quick.
Can I tell y'all later?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I tell y'all later? Look, I have to see. I don't know if my daughter watching right now.
Oh,
but no, I'm just joking. No, my favorites, of course, is riding. That's one of my favorites, because it gives me that control. I'm still a missionary girl, but I like it when my legs are like up on his shoulder. I like my legs to be all the way up.
That makes sense.
My arms up.
Because the missionary is definitely my favorite. It's the most intimate to me.
What?
From the back, I feel like it's just that's Henny dick. Yeah, Henny dick is from the back. You know what I'm saying?
I always think doggy style is so like.
It's impersonal.
It's impersonal.
Yeah.
Like people do that to people that's ugly or something.
Or she got a fatty and you just trying to see that thing. You know what I'm saying? Do what it do.
Because I'm a bad guy. I'm kind of, I got an extra leg and I like most people.
I got an extra leg.
And they can't take that just on missionary, So I get a little free reign. I get a lot of pelvic holding and going on when I'm,
so put the hand right there, try to keep you back.
They kind of keep you at bay like that. So I kind of the back shots kind of give me a little way I can really do
I just love brown men. I swear to God, I just really do.
That was gonna get ugly.
They just bring the power, like.
I need the restroom.
Oh, you got to go. You got to the bathroom.
Come on. Excuse me, give me right
I
back.
hope everything come out okay, sir.
Okay, moving right along. Yeah. So other reasons why, as far as the role playing, as far and then BDSM, um, they can actually enhance communication, trust, and intimacy between partners, which we've already said. And it's just like I said, a good way to spice up, the sex lives and deepen the connection. Um, Another fantasy that is pretty I can resonate with is people fantasize about voyeurism and being an exhibitionist. Like, so voyeur is like where you're watching other people have sex, and then exhibition is where you're being watched
He
or
can't
like
wait.
you're in public. Huh?
He can't wait. He like, oh, this my stuff.
Okay, Justin.
I was chilling. I was letting you finish. I want
He
all the
couldn't
information
breathe.
first.
He
I'm
was
gonna
on
Before,
pause
his
right
breath.
now and let you go.
I mean, I just I kind of not. I'm not into watching people. You feel me? So that's voyeurism. But I am into.
Exhibition.
Goddamn right.
Man, the closet.
Man, I got some
backseat.
stories. I'll never forget the one time I was working at Minute Maid Park. There's this big window that like just shows everything, and I was still working, but there's another chick we was working with, and
Y'all both work there together?
yeah, and we met up on the stairs, man, right before the game was about to let out, and got active, and I'll never forget that because it was like at any point in time, anybody could have came, anybody could have seen, but we ain't even cared, man. It was just, so yeah. Definitely down for the lookouts in
Spontaneity,
the back
yes.
seat of the Acura. You know what I'm saying?
But like
you like one of those kids, like when you have to say, "Hey, you're going on a trip. Go to the bathroom before we get on the road." you better tell you to put that drink down. That drink may be how you going to the bathroom. No liquids for you tonight,
No
sir.
liquids, no.
So we're talking about the next set of fantasies that people have, or that's common, being a voyeur, an exhibition, or an exhibitionist. And so Justin was telling us about his experience. That seemed to like he was excited about that. That must be
Yeah,
one of
that's
his
my
favorite.
shit. Yeah, definitely.
So have you ever had sex like I know you was talking about it. So public, y'all were at Minute Maid Park, and where were y'all at?
I had to look at that window again. I've been in there so many times, but haven't been past that one spot. And I just know it's on the backside, basically where all the workers come in.
Mm-hmm.
So it's I forgot what street that is, but literally on the backside of Minute Maid.
Y'all were outside?
No, we was inside the building, but just right in front of that window where.
Well, if anybody works at Minute Maid Park, they're gonna be like, "Ooh,
that was when I say that was 2003.
Oh, that was
So
a long time ago.
that if they remember my face, shame on them for watching.
I kind of like in high school. Now that I think about it, me and one of my exes, we used to slip out of, and they had this little. In our high school, we had 3 floors, and they had like an old swimming pool on the 4th floor.
Oh shit!
And I used to just go by her classroom and then nod, and we just meet up there, and it would be, man, we did.
What high school you went to?
Oh wow! She tried to set you up, bro.
One of my he mentioned that one of my fantasies is to close to the freeway, motel on the rails, where all traffic is going middle of the day, just going
Is it here in Houston?
Anywhere, any hotel close to the freeway.
That's an exhibitionist, huh?
Yeah,
that's definitely an exhibitionist.
Yeah,
and I think that would be adrenaline. That would be because I'm more reserved sometimes, but that's came to my mind a few times. Like, man, I think that'd be that experience there. Top notch.
I ain't gonna lie. Go and get you an Airbnb, one of those high rises downtown, and shoot, boy.
You don't even have to do that. Go to the Post Oak Hotel. It's one of the few hotels left that they actually have balconies, and get you one of them balconies that's on like the corner suite, what actually has like 2 balconies, and you're right there in the corner, a high floor. That's where they put the Hilton Honor members at.
True story. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, so that's like the best. That's like every time I came to Houston when I was living in San Antonio, I would always stay there. Always.
So you use the balcony as well?
Oh hell yeah.
Now I don't have a personal
No, that's
balcony
right.
story, but I was just in Cancun for my birthday in February, and literally we had a show. I mean, we all in the pool. I mean, it's shit
Where'd
ton
you
of
go?
people.
You say Cancun?
Yeah, Royalton Chic. That's the adult only, all inclusive. And you just look up, you just see cheeks getting clapped. She hanging over the what you call it, and I mean they keep going. I mean people in the pool clapping, whistling, yelling, and they just like
That's
I don't know. Maybe
So is it
out
is
of
it a resort
town.
kind of like similar like to hedonism?
no, no. It isn't like that. Like hedonism is a totally different thing.
I've been to that. That is amazing.
Oh really?
You been to hedonism?
3 years in a row.
Oh,
Listen at
okay.
you. I've been 6
See?
times. I don't even like. I want to go somewhere else. But yeah, that's You can you find all the voyeurs and all the exhibitions there.
Mhm.
Is it true that it's mostly old white people?
No. So it's better to
Old
go
people.
like when because they do takeovers, right?
Mhm.
So you have Mocha Fest that's coming up.
Couple
Um,
weeks.
Right. So like they literally take over the entire resort for the most part. So it's better to go like with when they have groups that are actually having something out there.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, yeah, you will run if you're going like in the off.
Old
Yeah, you
wrinkly
got
Australians, right?
listen. I'm a people
No
watcher. I sit
offense.
up, I be laughing.
I couldn't
I
do it.
laugh. I
I couldn't
laugh.
do it.
I
I'd be
laugh.
out there naked, meat
Yeah.
soft,
So
looking
we've
at all
gone.
this nastiness, just like, nah,
We've
man, I'm wasting
gone.
all my
We've gone to
exact. There's
Mocha
no point.
Fest.
I know.
We've gone doing the Independence.
Okay.
So that's like a good time to go.
Okay.
And then we've gone just with groups, where they've actually had like a variety of groups that went down there around the same time,
Okay.
like right before the international the Independence month. I think it's like July. That's also a good month to go to. But yeah, it's always better to go if you're going like with like groups. I know. I think what is that DMV um, also goes every year, so they bring like a huge crowd of folks too as well. So you just have to find out like whenever they're doing those takeovers, them hotel takeovers with the groups, and that's the best time to go.
Yeah, because I've worked for a few of those travel groups, and it's very interesting.
So is that the hidden thing
What you mean?
with the travel groups? Is that like a hidden or it
Not with
started
all.
platonically? Or
Not
what
with
is
all.
No, they
It's
put
have a
it.
back. They have a back. You know,
Some people
we
just
know about Davenport's, right? Does it have a backdrop to it? Like this is known for this.
Um,
I
that-
wouldn't say so. I would think that would be a misrepresentation of travel groups. I think you just have those certain ones that know who's with the shits, and you tend to just put all of them together. Because the one that I recently did, I worked in Tennessee for a group, and it was quite interesting. Now I won't disclose much because they are clients, so of course client privilege. But it was interesting and fun, fun and interesting to say the least. But it goes down, and most of them go to Mocha Fest. And if you've ever been to those places, you already know the vibes. So it's a vibe. It's definitely a vibe.
it is. I mean, like I said, it's you have to be able to want to be able to step outside of your comfort zone. You only have one life. That's just the way I look at things. Before I even started going to hedonism or going to Jamaica, um, I always thought about what would it be like if, and so once I got the opportunity, and then you run across and you meet so many great people, like-minded people, so nobody's out there judging or anything like that. They out there naked just like you. you know. Some of them are naked and afraid, but they still meet other people. They still,
Naked and afraid. She with it.
yeah. But yeah, I've met some of the I mean people I'm still cool with to this very day, at places like that. Real good energy.
I've always wanted to go. Like I never had the opportunity to go. Like going to those different events. People just think you're a piece of candy. Like I want to try some. I want to try some.
Like a piece of meat,
Absolutely.
like at the meat market.
Absolutely. But it's like I always want to take like somebody that I want to be with, of course. Just put them in the sand and just leave his head hanging out, then his dick hanging out, and I just want to get on it like a sit and spin. Then I just want to sit there and just
So we sit on that
She
on the
said
face
sit
too.
and
You want to sit
spin.
on the face too?
yeah,
Oh.
yeah. I want to. If that's how I've never done that. I want to make my own hole in the sand.
So was this a part of your fantasy too?
It is.
Now, did this just come about right now, or this was
No.
already preconceived?
Yeah, I've already thought about this one.
I'm going to Jamaica in a. Never mind.
And you like to get buried. You want to get buried. Think you
Probably not in sand, but definitely in something else, most likely.
That is hilariously. Look, she be coming up with some of the stories. I'd be like,
I'm still tripping
I
off the first
do.
one. I was thrown off thinking she was trying to give head with a foot on the
I'll
rear
show
view
you.
mirror,
I'll
and
show you. But one time I was just driving, and you know how you just meet different people. We're in the country in Creek, Illinois. Just driving nice car. I'm like, boy, you do. Got out, like, hey, how you feeling? But anyway, to the back of the car. The car was so nice, and the lights was so nice. We just went on ahead and just, you know, it's dark outside. Creek is very dark. If anybody lives in Illinois, they know Creek is dark. It's like no lights. It's like country.
mm-hmm.
Spent over the car, just spread wide eagle, and just all out in the open. It was amazing.
You did that?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, okay.
That was really nice too.
So you knocking your fantasy
So
off.
No, that was
so
that
you
was
are
just
so
spontaneity.
really, so you are an exhibitionist.
Definitely,
Okay,
definitely.
she said that wholeheartedly.
Yes, drink.
She said that with her chest.
Whole chest.
She said that with her whole chest.
Man, you better not catch me in the grocery store, in the stairs, in the changing room. It's just.
Oh, listen.
Well, I thought she was gonna say
had-
the Chinese.
Listen.
You said the CH. I was like, the Chinese restaurant.
No,
I had
that
an
was
experience
true.
in the academy. One of the academy, I didn't even know that like some of the academies have like a unisex changing rooms. Did you know that?
I did not.
I didn't know that.
At least I
But I
thought it
know
was
some of the
unisex.
clubs downtown
I thought
do.
it was
She made
unisex. Huh?
I said I know some of the clubs downtown have unisex bathrooms, and
Yeah.
well, they make for some very interesting evenings.
Yeah.
Uh,
You go in there, you're thinking you're trying on some clothes, and then somebody that you with or whatever pops in there with you, acting like they coming there to help change clothes, and then other stuff end up happening. An academy, Lord.
Can you tell us which academy that might trying to go try on some basketball shorts?
Or go buy a gun.
I can't
some
I can't
ammo or
remember.
something, you know.
I can't remember.
Just
It's
tell
been
us
so
off
long
air.
ago.
We don't want to have to. We don't want to taint that bad boy.
So, voyeurism, in case anyone doesn't know, it is the act of watching others engaging in sexual activities. Can be arousing for some individuals because it allows them to experience a sense of excitement, thrill, and forbidden pleasure. So, I think that's one of the things that I think I enjoy was like being an exhibition is that, the thrill of getting caught. Somebody
Oh,
watching, and
gosh.
then you catch them watching you, and then you be like, okay, should we continue? That aspect of it. I think I was in high school. I was in high school, and my boyfriend and I had went to the park, and you know how the park have like the different little trails and stuff like that. So we had walked through one of the trails, and they had the little concrete bench and table, whatever. And so he had me like bent over one of them, right? And then so we heard somebody like in the not far from us, like, some leaves or something shuffling around. And so we stopped and looked, and it was a man that was back over there, and he was like jacking off, watching us and stuff. And so I was like, and that at that moment, like we stopped because I was like, I didn't
It's
know
a little
what
cringy.
Yeah, that's kind of
Yeah.
creepy.
Yeah.
That's a little creepy. Yeah, right.
He's like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, so that part.
Nah,
Yeah, I just heard what's the dude, the old pedophile dude from Family Guy.
Oh, you talking about
Winslow,
The
Carl?
Carl Winslow.
from Family Guy.
Family Guy. Oh, you
Oh, the
talking about the
cartoon?
cartoon?
Yeah,
the
the
cartoon.
old white dude
Oh.
with the dog that looked special.
He looks special. I know you're talking about.
So other things too with being an exhibition, it is ways for individuals to feel liberated and confident, and gives them validity in their sexuality. Both fantasies allows individuals to explore different aspects of their sexuality, push boundaries, and experience new forms of arousal and pleasure in a consensual and safe manner. Um, so let's get into another topic about fantasies. Let's talk about fantasies and desires that are unfulfilled. So, you know, some people, yeah, they think about it, they may even talk about it or whatever, but they've never experienced it, or are either too afraid to experience, or just I don't necessarily say I hate to use the word afraid, but just say for instance, if you're in a relationship, and you've had a conversation with your significant other about fantasies, that you can share together, right? And they're not necessarily open minded as you are. How do you approach that, or how would you handle that?
Me personally, I think it's unfulfilled. I think it's dying to the self. I think you kind of kill a part of that person when he's not allowed to express himself. Or I think there has to be a medium on both parts. And understanding that unfulfilled desire could really be a vice, that could be that separation. So I really think it should be addressed in some way. I don't know how. I haven't thought about it, but I think that unfulfilled would cause
The
a great
resentment.
rift. Hmm.
So, is that something that, from a relationship standpoint, that should, when you're dating somebody and you're getting to know them, is that should be, like you're asking about, finances and kids and stuff, that should be part of the conversation, when early on, when you're trying to get to know that person, or whether or not, if they, because I get it that fantasies can change over time and
Exactly.
over years, but at least if that person
It's
actually
open
is either open to having those
eventually.
conversations
Yes.
early on versus waiting, so many years into a relationship, and all of a sudden you say, "Hey, let's do this," and they be like, "Where the hell you get that from?
But
Where you come up
And
with
who you
that?"
been with?
that's also hard for the simple fact you don't know. Like we can be in 10 years, 15 years, and this just can't, it grew on me. As I grew as a person, became stronger and more stronger in the person I am. And then this fantasy comes about at that stage. Normally it should be one of the categories that's talked about in the beginning, but most people not, because it may not be on his radar at that point. Maybe the monotony of the missionary, we only do certain things, and as he grows, then that becomes one of, so that one kind of tricky, but I think it should become a topic that's talked about in the beginning,
I
because
agree.
that's not a problem on the other side.
I
That's not
actually think it should be much more simple than that, because it's just communication. At the time that you recognize that this is what I like now, you should communicate that to that person and let them know, like, hey, I want to dress up in chicken suit and I want to fry chicken and then get it in. And I'm trying to eat chicken while I'm hitting it from the back.
Yeah.
Fold you up like a pretzel eating chicken in the
Yeah.
chicken suit.
Yeah.
And if you're not with that, I
I'll
need
go
you to let me know now, because this is what I'm gonna like. And in 10 years, I'm trying to batter you
So
and drop you in some grease too and do it. Like I don't know.
So what
He's a
happens?
chef. He's
So
for real.
what happens? Okay, let's say this. So what happens if that person meets all your deal breakers? In the beginning, we'll say, hey, this is my deal breaker: finances, cheating.
They
What if
meet
that
the deal
person
breakers.
meets? No, that person meets all your deal breakers, and then you come with the fantasy on the other side. How does that change the trajectory where the relationship goes now? You cause a rift.
When you say meet the deal breakers, they're doing the things that are
Everything.
deal breakers for
No,
me.
they're not doing that.
Oh, okay.
Everything's that you're in a good place. You're in a healthy stage. You're in
I mean,
stage 3.
it's just like finances. I can't date a woman who makes less money than me, because you won't understand how hard I have to work to keep this money and then grow this money. So those are conversations that I have up front with women that make them uncomfortable sometimes. And I'm not saying I wouldn't date a woman who's making like 150,000. Yeah, I will. Yeah, but make sure that you're making something and know how to. But that's all a conversation up front. So if she met all the things that I needed and she didn't, yeah, but finance and sexual desire are two totally different things. And I'm a man, so you can make less and we're good, but you can't give me less sexually and I still be like, oh yeah, it's all good, man.
Nah.
You only suck the head, but I need deep, bro. But it's all good, man. I'm not tripping. I'm here with you to the end, even though you are only on the top. You know what I'm saying?
We could grow the
because,
book out,
but you know what?
I
That's a
agree,
lot.
but sometimes as we age, sometimes you had this fantasy a long time ago, like you say, we should have discussed in the beginning. Sometimes like if you want to stand on somebody's shoulders, both legs.
There she go with
That's
the
it.
stories.
I'm just
Stand?
saying, absolutely.
You
Put
were
your
kinda
feet on his
Tall to
shoulders.
be. Oh, you mean just like a missionary?
Squat down.
I see it. I see
With
a
your
little.
face, your lips right here on the dream catcher. And you just get the but I'm just
I
saying
see
as you
short
get
stories coming out
older,
of me.
as you get older, sometimes you can't do that. You should tell him all this in the beginning if that's what you like or if that's what you want. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Agreed.
yeah,
Well, you can still
definitely.
do that.
Yes, definitely. I mean, this should definitely be. But I think we had talked about this, about how people, when you meet somebody, and especially somebody you think that you really like, and they got potential. Well, not I hate to use the word potential, but that they could be a potential mate. And then once you start getting to know them, and you start finding out the things that they want or they're looking for in a woman, a lot of times people will they'll try to
Mold
mold
themselves.
themselves into to
Becoming
fit, becoming that.
That's why I don't have
Just-
those conversations up front. I don't tell women what all I'm looking for. Like, why don't you ask a bunch of questions? I don't need to know that. I want to know your vibe.
Well,
How do
you
we
get to
vibe
know 'em.
together?
You'll get to know most
Yeah,
of
because
it.
people, and I can't, because I've been approached and tell me about yourself,
I
and
ain't got time for that.
they want to know everything up front. They start. I mean, I felt like one time I was on a damn interview.
My favorite color, all of them.
I felt like I was on a doggone
All
interview.
of them. I
was
like all
damn.
gray too. It's my favorite color. Baby. What's next? No kids. Okay. But the craziest thing, all of those questions that get asked, sexual fantasies are one of the things that nobody talks about.
No,
Even though it does make sense to have that conversation up front, because again, if I want to dress up like a chicken, you should need to know that up front. Because once you give me them cakes and I'm trying to batter them thighs, I need you to, you feel me? You feel me?
Oh, I think you should break the ice. And some people, I don't know, you might not like a person. I think you should, after a few weeks or something, you should have an intimate moment, because you don't know if you're gonna still like a person. Like, you could like everything about them when they whack. Be like, no, thank you.
yes,
I've had women get upset at me, and I'm just like, look, I really like you, but I need to know what the deal is with that.
Absolutely.
Because we could do all this talking and do all this, and everything goes well, but the sex is just trash, and I don't want to sit here and waste my time.
Absolutely.
I've heard that too from women.
Now, I could be patient. We could do the regular rigmarole of dating, dates and talking. I'm not trying to rush you, but I'm not waiting 90 days to find out.
Yeah,
Let's see
because
what
I
happens.
wouldn't. I don't think I could.
Waste of time.
Yeah, because my thing is that, and I've experienced this, where you end up talking to somebody for a good while, and you end up really liking that person. Like, they have really good qualities and everything, but then you have sex with them, you be like,
It's something I do.
and I
You can only pump for 30 seconds. It's
it's,
Why be so mad?
that's. I mean, and you feel bad because,
but I mean, it could be a badge of honor for y'all too. I mean, if it's that good, I mean, he couldn't. Because I mean, when it ain't good to me, I go for hours, days, months, and years. What? If it's good, it might be a little bit shorter than usual. But if it's terrible, I'm just, I could give you sex all night for 12 hours. Yeah, because
I ain't talking about, for you, that's a different situation.
Most certainly.
For women, we have other things that we measure.
Most certainly.
But it's
that's a good question. What do women measure?
Huh?
What do women measure?
If you
said
strong,
when?
Yeah. What do they measure?
if
What
you
are the,
manscape, if you strong, you can hold your balance. You can pick me up, put me on the wall. All that. You got to be strong. You got to have a little stamina. You got to have a little wait time. Don't be all trying to get to it all greedy. Yes, you got to finesse it.
Wait time.
You can just dive in and be
you mean like just have patience?
Yeah.
So they teaching men out there.
Most certainly.
Take your time.
Oh, you've been taught too. You know better.
Well, I think life teaches us.
Absolutely, you know better.
Yes. So it's a lot. It's a lot that goes into it.
Mm-hmm.
And I try not to compare people, and because we're all made uniquely, right?
Agreed.
And we all have our own gifts and whatnot. But at the same time, like I said, somebody for everybody. Everybody ain't meant for everybody.
Agreed.
You know, so and then I know that I can be a tad bit picky on certain things too.
But I mean, you're supposed to be like that. In
Mm.
all frames of life, you should be picky about your jobs and everything. Because I mean, like for me,
we're talking about sex right now, but everybody ain't picky when
my
it comes
thing is,
to
my only point was that, like, for me personally, I've had friends like really try to set me up with nice women, and if her toes ain't right, I can't go. I'm not interested.
So you have a foot fetish?
I have a I don't want you touching me with ugly feet fetish.
I feel that.
Even if she checked the box and all the other,
Check them all.
ooh,
She could be
That's-
willing to pay all the bills on the first of the month.
Take her to Maylene and get her feet done.
Man,
They sell baby feet on the baby feet.
they
foot
what?
pill. Baby feet foot
Get my
pill
feet.
on Amazon.
Baby feet foot
It's called
pills.
it's a foot pill. It's a gel that comes in a plastic sock. You take a bath or shower. When you get out, you put your feet in these little socks, plastic socks with the gel.
Okay.
You let it sit on your feet. You know, you massage it on your top, bottom feet for like about an hour.
Mhm.
Then you rinse the gel off. You get in the tub and rinse it off, dry your feet. And like within the first week, you'll start noticing like the skin off your feet is gonna start peeling like a lizard. And it takes like 10 years off your feet.
So baby lizard feet.
Huh?
Wow.
so you talking about
Baby
just
lizard
the
feet.
look?
Yeah, so by the time when it gets done, like it takes like literally like 2 weeks. It's a 2-week process. And your feet is gonna feel like like the bottom of a baby's foot.
So my thing isn't necessarily that is a big part, like because I can't do dry feet, but it is actual
The way
toe.
it's built,
Oh, the toes,
way
like
they're
getting your
built and
toes
made.
and lick your toes.
Oh,
So
he got us.
what women don't get their toes done?
It's
No,
not
it's
about
not the
them
toes.
being
It's the way they
done.
built
It's
and
them
made. It's the
eggs.
God
Come on, brother.
made
Oh, you talking about like
Talk
what
to
they
us,
got
brother.
hammer toes?
It's-
Yeah,
and
one
shit?
of them on top of the other.
Oh,
I mean,
God, they
it-
talking about
and
toes.
that, like they just gotta look nice
You
on
can't
that
have
woman.
can't have no bunions or no.
Okay, so I dated this
corn. I
was
could call them
briefly.
corn nuts. Corn
Look.
nuts.
This I dated this young lady. She was from Somalia, and when I say she was the darkest woman I've ever dated, and she was probably the most beautiful woman I've ever dated. Fine, I mean, oh my goodness, fine, but the toes weren't the best because she had that one little corn on that the middle toe, like right there.
You couldn't overlook that toe.
I overlooked the hell I did. This is the only woman that I did this for because she was just that. I mean, so that was the only time that like
you gave a pass. You get rain check on.
And she cut me off like 2 weeks later. I was like, damn, we got ugly feet anyway. Shit, I'm sorry.
You stuck to yours, or you stuck to your gun.
But the sexual aspect of she still had pretty feet. It was just that one the little extra knuckle on top of the knuckle.
So you had 90%.
Yeah, she was at like 95.3.
So
That's
you
so
wouldn't
good.
invest in a woman if you thought you could help her just because you didn't like how her feet look.
Because that's superficial.
Let's talk about this though.
Because
Though it is superficial, we're talking about lifelong things, right?
Mhm.
And if I'm not interested in them toes, that's just like
So do you suck toes?
what?
He a sauce man.
What?
He create great sauces. So he he suck.
I'm sucking toes. That's really the reason why I like missionary too, though.
Okay,
that was
so I can see why you more in there. Because if I was a toe sucker, I probably would want to. I could only suck on nice feet.
But
or
even
nice
if I
toes.
didn't, I wouldn't. When you put the sandals on, we live in Houston. We have nice weather often enough for those toes to be out, and they can't be walk around like this. There's no way. And hanging off the end of the like chicken feet on a sandal. Like, nah, I can't do it. I can't do it. Now I seen you looking at yours. You have nice feet. You good. I've seen yours too. Don't worry about it. I've scrolled in some of your pictures and did this with the. You got to zoom in and look. Let me see what the toes look like too.
Mr. J,
I got nice.
But Jay,
toes.
that's what you do though. You scan the room and you just kind of look. I got a buddy like that.
Well, no, I won't say I scanned the room. Because I couldn't care less about women that I can't touch.
That you can't touch.
You know what I'm saying? But if I just walk through a room and toes is out, am I just like, damn, look at all these toes? Hell, no, that's a little bit much, brother. But
Which one?
if I look
Which
at a
one?
woman and I'm like, hey, how
Yeah.
you doing? You know what I'm saying? And I'm about to introduce myself.
Yes.
I'm gonna go down real quick and just see, just to make sure. You know what I'm saying? Like,
So you'll throw the flag. Everything good when you get to the feet. You're gonna throw the flag.
I'm a fake a phone call and just get the fuck up out of there, man. Hey, baby, check me out on Instagram, H-Town Chef. I'll talk to you later.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's deep.
Wow, that's
oh,
funny.
Yeah. That's
So, before we close out this evening, I wanted to run through a couple of things with regards to the whole sexual fantasy thing. Is that, and this is all fun. You know, we laugh and talk about things, but we're still talking about relationships and intimacy.
Mhm.
And you know, we want to make sure that couples, both men and women, you know, come from a place where you know you can be able to communicate with your significant other about fantasies. And even if you're starting a new relationship, we definitely want to make sure that you're having those conversations, because I think that's what gets left out, is to talk about our desires when we start new relationships. You know, we don't like to bring up sex, but if it's important to you, like I know it's important to me, we do have to have a conversation about it. You know, because that's a box that has to be checked off.
Agreed.
But definitely in relationships, you know, I think that couples should be proactively discussing, you know, how you know, and then you know, pick a fun time to have a conversation. Don't do it while you're in bed or, you know, right before you get ready to have sex.
Definitely not. Maybe more so like a card game or something, like, because you know they have the little sexual card games where you can ask questions now. So it's a good way to open up into a date night or something, like an in-home date night.
Yeah, they do have those. They do have those. I forgot about those. But definitely have those conversations. I know that, like I said, I've been married, and I've always been pretty open about, you know, my sexuality and the things that I like. Now, when if I always got what I wanted, that's a whole nother story. but I'm always pretty candid and pretty open about it. Do you have any last words?
Yeah, I think that we adding that box does clear the air, and it doesn't leave for air on the other side. So I think that adding that, checking that fantasy box, making sure is one of the things that go down with finances, how religion, all the things that we need to talk about on the front side. Add fantasies to it. So that's a good one.
Celine?
Yeah, but I don't think you should go right in talking about sex because it's a turnoff. It's like that's all.
No,
you want.
I'm not saying right in. I'm just
Mhm.
saying as you're, you know, as you're going through that dating phase and you're getting to know that person.
I
And it's
totally
heating up
agree.
and getting
You know,
serious.
yeah.
I think
Yeah,
you should
definitely.
add it. Yeah.
Yeah, and definitely before
It
you
should be
start
one of the
having sex.
last ones. You know, we have a lot of categories, and that should be one of the last.
Yeah.
I mean, but if we're talking about finance, we should be able to talk about fantasy, because those are two important things. If the finances
Two
aren't
Fs.
right, yeah, I mean, finance and fantasy, those are two conversations that you definitely should have. Because up front in the first month, you should be talking about my finances. It's none of your business, and yours isn't any of mine. But once we start spending the night at each other's house, and that money starts coming out, and we're doing things, those are when the conversations should, you know, start to ensue. But teach their own.
The three
True.
F's:
True. I
finance,
agree.
fun, fantasies, and fondue. Right?
And food.
And fucking.
Food. Well, fantasy. We're gonna put fucking in fantasy. That's all.
Oh wow.
Hopefully, you can get some in your fantasy.
But sometimes you could run into people and be like, you run into people like that, you'd be like, man, I want to see what that's like. You know, you'd be like, that's nice.
That's amazing, being a woman and being able to like say that, because when men say it, it just sounds like everything we say every day. It's like, yeah, I want to hit that ass. I wonder what that look like.
What
You know what I'm saying? And the craziest thing is like, I've literally looked at a woman and been like, yeah, I wonder like how she'll like, you know what I'm saying,
Respond to you.
and not even in a sexual way, but more like intimate. Like, cause I love physical touch. Like, I need you to put your hands on me, rub your fingers all on me, touch me. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I'm like, I wonder if this, and growling in my ear.
And growl, the DMX growl.
Is you strong? That's a deal breaker for me. If you can't pick me up, we ain't got to talk. But you can't kiss, we don't have to talk. That's a deal breaker for me.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Kissing, oh man, if she can't kiss, I
It
can't.
make your earlobes hot.
That weird like little, no, baby. You kissing like we in 6th grade. I'm not interested.
And another thing that's like, I don't know, so some people seem to have like the baddest ass tongue, like the biggest tongue, and they feel like they want to shove their whole
Down
tongue
your
in your throat.
Like, what is your problem?
Like, you should be able to know how to pull that back
You
a
got to
little
put
bit.
just
Like,
the tip of the tongue in.
yeah,
Just-
you ain't gotta like stick your whole tongue down my damn throat. I'm sorry.
To
Like,
prove
you
what
know,
point?
you know,
He's probably trying to let you know he can lick other things the same way, a little bit deeper.
That's a cliche. You licking on my dream catcher all night, boy. Bye.
you pull back my whole all this be all wet.
And you gotta do like that. That's not okay, right? I agree.
Nah, that's
Big
terrible.
old suction cup. So before we close out tonight, and I want to thank everybody for joining us. Hope you got what we got out of it, which was fun.
Indeed.
And I want to thank my guests for coming on. Chef Jeff, you want to let the viewers know how to find
Chef
you?
who? My name is not Jeff.
Did I say Jeff? I say
Yeah.
Sir Jeff J. Chef J.
But you know the funniest thing, real quick, I've heard that several times because when you're trying to say Chef and J together, that Jeff comes out. I'm just like, I guess my name is Jeffrey today, man. But you can find me at H-Town Chef on Instagram, Food Creations with a K and a Z on TikTok, and I don't think I have YouTube and Twitter and all that other stuff. I'm not hip, you know. So yeah,
You
just
got to get
TikTok.
you hip on YouTube.
I'm trying. All these damn we'll talk about that.
Yeah, because
We'll
you
talk
got
about
me.
that.
Because you post a lot of like your videos and stuff on Instagram.
Especially now with this drone. So I am dropping like photography content and stuff like that. I was talking to my man back there about that too. So yeah, definitely need to get on YouTube more often. So maybe you could show me a little something with that.
Oh, most definitely, no problem.
Awesome.
Celine, where we finding you, Miss No Talking?
Definitely on Facebook. No talking. That's it. Instagram, Cold Winters. But I don't do nothing. I go to work, eat, sleep, repeat. That's it.
So why did you pick No Talking real quick?
Because that was a spa that I had in Illinois. It was called No Talking, members only.
That sounds like some fantasy
It
type.
was.
She said she cut me off. She said it was.
It was. It was really
She's
nice.
way ahead of the time.
No talking, you just do.
Interesting.
Got them hands, baby.
Mr. Hollywood.
I'm at Hollywood Mac 10 on Instagram. You can find me. Any delivery work you need, KD, Houston, surrounding areas, Hollywood Delivery Services online.
All right. Do we have anything else? Well, thank you guys for joining us this evening. Tune in for next Wednesday and every Wednesday for the Unofficial Sex Therapist. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and also share on Facebook and on Instagram as we post. Thank you. You guys have a great evening. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Unofficial Sex Therapist. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe so that you never miss an episode.